Hi, everybody. I hope everybody's having a good day wherever they are. Like I say, I'm not responsible if anybody gets hurt, and sometimes I swear. Today I'm going to do a tarot reading on the weather report that's going to, in the United States. So I'm going to do. We've had a lot of cold in Massachusetts, so a lot of people might have snow. I know there were fires, so I'm going to do a reading on my home town right now, Massachusetts. Oh, are we going to have a lot of more cold air or any snow? Because we're supposed to have snow on Saturday. I don't know how much. So I'm going to do one of New England. Are we going to get a lot of snow? Sorry, I'm not the best shuffler. Yeah. Are we going to be getting a lot of snow in New England and a lot of cold? We're going to have more cold weather that feels like -2 degrees or -0 or whatever in New England. Are we going to have more cold weather around New England or places that have a lot of snow? Or I'm going to be doing I'm doing 5 cards, so we're going to have a lot of snow. This is weather. Thought this would be fun. I'll read it. It says there's going to be nagging where people are tired of the weather. You know, it's only a couple months out of the year, and people are just disappointed and upset about the weather, and they wish it would stop. You know, wish would. You know, a lot of people in New England wish it could be, like Florida where it's 70 degrees. So they're kind of upset about there. And they're obsessed of, oh God, when is it going to be over? When is winter going to be over? So people are upset over the coldness of in New England and other cold climates. And they're discouraged, like, oh God, when is it going to end? When is the winter going to end? You know, they're very discouraged and they're unfocused because they're tired of being cold and have to put on a bunch of layers and then strip down into their normal clothes. So they're discouraged about it. But they plan for it. You know, people plan. A lot of people plan to, bring food, water, and there are a lot of preppers that plan for bad weather in the winter. You know, snowstorms or hurricanes or wherever they live. People plan for bad weather. You know, when winter comes, people plan for, like I said, snow or the temperatures drop and stuff. Like they say, if it goes before freezing, you have to make sure your faucet is turned a little, otherwise your pipes will freeze. So people plan, and they're looking forward to today. They can say, "Spring is coming! Spring is coming!" People are looking forward to spring, and they're like, "Yay!" Or some people might take trips somewhere where it's warmer, so they don't have to be in the cold climate, and they feel. There's a failure of why is it taking forever. I like a lot of my cards are like people complaining about the weather in New England and other places, why it's so cold and the temperatures are dropping. So it feels like, they're acting immature, like, oh God, like 5-year-olds. Oh, why is it rain? Why is it snowing? Why are we having all this major weather and fires and floods and whatever in the winter? And also confined fear of change. A lot of people don't like change. They're fearful because of the snowstorms and the fear that there might be power outages or they don't have enough food, water. People are going to race. If you say there's going to be a snowstorm or whatever, they're going to be racing to the supermarket or the giant stores like Walmart, Target, or BJ's or whatever. They'll be, not planning ahead. They're going to be running to the supermarkets, acting crazy. So yeah, we're gonna have more cold weather. People aren't going to be planning ahead for it, which is wrong. All right, now I'm going to do what's it going to be in Texas, California, and the weather that are people in the warmer climates. Are we going to have more wildfires? Is it going to be no rain? We're going to have. Is there going to be more fires and more rain, less rain? Like, there's hardly any rain in California. Are we going to have more, are they going to have more fires? I'm going to look that up first. Please tell me, are there going to be more fires in California? This just came off at the top of my head. Are we going to have more fires? Please tell me. Yeah, it was poor planning. People didn't plan ahead because of the fires. There's nothing they can do about it. It's, I don't know, it's dry. There's not enough people aren't having ideas, and they have lack of confidence. And there's people who are narcissistic that think, oh, I don't have to worry about this. The FEMA and people, the National Guard and Red Cross will take care of me. I don't have to worry. I don't have to leave my $1 million mansion. I can stay home and live out the wildfires. So some people are very narcissistic. The people in California are like the rich people, I guess, or people who don't take it seriously. The people who don't take it serious, and the lack of confidence. They don't think that we're going to have more fires. Yes, I do. I feel. And it's lack of discipline. People aren't disciplined about planning to get water. It's hard to find water because eventually water's going to be, you're going to do so much with water. There's not enough water on the planet. So people are very discouraged about it. And they're going to be reckless with using the water. They're going to use it for other means, I think they should use swimming pools and yeah, and they're going to be stubborn about it. A lot of people like, oh, I don't want to leave my home. I'm going to stay in where there's fires and stuff. So there's people are going to be stubborn about not wanting to leave. Yeah, but there's going to be happiness at the end of the tunnel. People think, oh, thank God, sometime in the future, the fires will, and maybe there will be some rain and good things will happen. So, and they think there's some support, their families, people who have to leave, have to go, maybe they have families that they can visit. When there's wildfires, they'll pack up, take their cars and leave and stay in a hotel or go to friends' houses or friends or families' houses. So they think there's light in the end of the tunnel, I think. Sorry, my nose is running. I just took my dog for a walk in this cold air. Balance. The finding meaning, like, oh God, what's going to happen with the fire? What's going to happen? Is there light into the end of the tunnel? Is something better going to happen? With the wildfires, maybe there's a better way to control it. So I feel like people are going to try to figure out how to control the fires. Some people are going to try to control the fires, and they're going to try to have some people are going to try to have patience about these wildfires in California or where it's warm, where there's droughts. So, all right, are the droughts going to continue in the Midwest? I'm going to look that up. Are we going to have more droughts in the Midwest and Texas, California, Tennessee? Are we going to have more droughts? Please tell me. 3 cards. Are we going to have more droughts? So, they're going to think it's unfair that we're having all these droughts, and the lack of they feel guilty, like they should have planned ahead, like, oh God, we should have planned ahead about the droughts. They should have other means to do water except for keep on doing it, like build wells or do something like that. They think we have to have better ideas about that. And they're dishonest. They probably take water out of places that shouldn't be there. Some people are sneaking, getting water in a way that they should do. So people are very, wondering. And they want harmony. So they try to have harmony. And they hope for the choice and love about things to get better. Yeah, they want harmony. I'm covering it up because it's the Lovers, and you can get in trouble. So they hope things will get better with the water, and they have better choices with the water of how to get water, and we won't have droughts. And they think that maybe somebody will have a breakthrough, have better ideas how to get water, maybe under the ground, or better resources. And people are going to be, but there's going to be conflict with the idea of finding other ways, you know, maybe they'll have to do stuff, other ways to getting water, because a lot of people don't want to do that. I feel like there's going to be conflicts in finding other alternatives to water. A lot of people want to just bitch and complain and say, oh, it wasn't me, instead of getting off their butt and actually doing something. People are going to complain about the water, and they're going to be, but there's other people who are going to be smart, and they're going to say, enough complaining, let's do something about it. So there's going to be some people bitching and complaining, and some people who aren't, who are going to, you know, they're going to take the incentive to do something about not complaining about it, actually do it, like talking the talk and walking the walk. So I'm going to say in Europe, are they going to have major bad weather in Europe too? I'm going to just put it out there. Is Europe going to have bad weather too in 2025? Are we going to have, is Europe going to have bad weather? They're going to have playing small. They're not going to have good planning when the weather comes, like in the spring. Then, you know, even though the crocuses come out and the flowers come out, they'll say, "I'm glad winter's going to be over." But they're not. They don't have good planning in Europe, so no, they're not going to have good planning. And there's going to be delays. People won't, you know, people aren't planning. They don't want to spend the money. They rather spend it on other things, you know, like on people going to war or other things, you know. But then because of, you know, how cold it's probably been very cold there too in Europe, you know, like in England, Switzerland, you know, the cold climates. So, you know, people are going to obsessed about long goals. What are we going to do in the future to make us have less coldness in the winters and stuff? Maybe alternative ways to make things better in the winter and the spring. And I also think Europe will be exhausted, and they'll be burned out by having all these colds, because they have to use wood stoves. People who have stoves will have to use wood, or they have to use generators, and there's going to be exhaustion about staying indoors. They'll be tired of staying indoors. The Europeans will get tired of staying indoors. They'll get depressed, you know, like, oh God, we're going to be staying in for a lot of months till spring. And they'll be stressed out, like, oh God, we're going to have to stay in, and if we have to go out, we're going to have to bundle up, you know, so we won't get hypothermia or get sick and get colds too. Alright, and also they feel betrayed about the weather, you know, oh God, this is taking forever. Winter's going to be longer. I feel like in Europe, winter's going to be longer. It's not going to go as fast as people want it to be. So, and deception. Winter's going to be very deception this year into spring. You know, it's going to get colder. They might have more snow. They might get snow. It's going to go down to the single digits, like the teens or the 20s, or could go below. You know, it's going to get really cold. I feel like it's going to have. Are we going to have? Is Europe going to have major cold climate compared to what they usually do? I'll look that up. Is Europe going to have very cold winters? They said they are. So I'm going to do 3. Are they going to have major winters, major cold? They feel like I said, they lack planning and the lack of foresight of planning ahead. They should have planned ahead. Some people will, but a lot of people won't. They will say, oh, worries me. They didn't plan ahead for the cold weather. So a lot of people haven't planned to get more gasoline for the generations or firewood. They have to do it now, like go out in the cold to do stuff, cut wood, you know. And also, I feel like they're going to be burned out because of the winter. They're tired of the winter. Temperatures are going to go down. They're going to be stressed out. People are going to be restless. People are going to try to fight over resources, which is bad. And they feel betrayed, like, how dare people not plan ahead? Some people will feel betrayed because they should have planned ahead. You know, they do. Some people feel in this deception, like, oh God, we're gonna deception, meaning that we should have planned ahead when they didn't. I guess that's what it means. Sorry, I'm learning. Yeah, and this trickery around the weather. You know, maybe someone's playing with the weather. That's how I feel, like someone's playing with the weather. Maybe people are that's how it says, trickery about the weather, meaning someone's playing with the weather. I don't know if they have machines that can, in the future, that can, in Europe, they can do it. Okay, I'm going to look up, are we going to have earthquakes in the middle? I know they had it in California. Are we going to have earthquakes in the United States? Sorry, that's my dog. Are we going to have earthquakes in California or other states? Are we going to have earthquakes? Are we going to have earthquakes? Yeah, we're going to have earthquakes. Earthquakes 4. Are we going to have earthquakes? Are we going to have earthquakes? Choices. There's going to be choices. People need to plan for in case there's earthquakes, because a lot of people won't want to plan, but a lot of people will plan because they know that there's earthquakes in California. So they might, I feel like there's going to be choice where people are going to build better better buildings and places to keep, for they won't have those earthquakes where stuff falls down. So there's people, I feel like there's going to be better options. People are going to take these earthquakes more seriously. A lot of people will, because it's going to be more, it's going to happen more often. I feel like it's going to happen more often. And they're going to be very protective of their family and friends and where they are and their pets when there's an earthquake. And they're going to be nurturing and practice. Maybe there'll be practice drills, you know, in schools like they used to do for, you know, people, you know, when they thought that the bomb was going to hit, or tornadoes or something. So they're going to practice what they preach. Like maybe they'll do drills on earthquakes or something in the future. And they're going to do, and there's going to be people, you know, on the news talking about it after it happens, I feel. And also people are going to be fearless about it. They're going to be tough. People will be upset, but there's going to be people who are very strong about these earth cleanses. They're going to be getting to do, you know, when it happens or right after it, there's going to be the Red Cross, FEMA, and everybody's going to go and take care of it, the people. So it's going to go fast. And these people are going to move fast to take care of the people after an earthquake. Because during an earthquake, you can't really help people. And also I feel there's going to be some disharmony. Some people will be like, oh, after an earthquake, what am I going to do? Help me. Like, they'll be like acting. And some people want to work alone, like, don't help me out. I want to take care of my own family, my own friends. Don't help me. So some people won't want to work together after an earthquake. Some people will want to work alone. They don't want people to help them. They don't want to have FEMA. They don't want Red Cross. They don't want anybody to help them, you know? So, yeah. And some people are misguided on what to do once an earthquake is over. They'll say, what should I do? Where should I go? You know, they'll be stammering around, like, what should I do? Some people will be like in shock. A lot of people will be in shock, and they don't know what to do. So there's going to be earthquakes in other parts of Massachusetts. Not Massachusetts, California. There's going to be more earthquakes. I'm going to ask one question. Are there going to be more earthquakes in Japan like they do in 2020? This is the last question. Are there going to be more earthquakes in Japan, China, all those places where they're known for earthquakes? Last question. Are they going to have more earthquakes in China and Japan, and, you know, that are known for earthquakes? Are those countries that have earthquakes going to have worse earthquakes, and they have those tsunami things where they blow the horn and say, oh, you know, you have 1 minute to get ready for an earthquake, you know? I mean, for a tidal wave or something. Is that going to happen? more of them going to happen? All right, please tell me. 3 cards. Are there going to be more earthquakes in China, Japan? There's going to be disharmony. People won't be happy about the chance of an earthquake in China, Japan, Haiti, or what other countries that are known prone for earthquakes, because people won't be happy about it. And some people are going to be working alone. Like I said, they don't want to be working with other people. They just want to be solitude. Like, I don't trust the people, FEMA or the Red Cross or people. They don't want to. They want to work alone. Some people say, I don't want to be bothered. Just leave me alone. And they have few goals, like, oh, I'll just take care of my own people. So there's going to be people who don't want to work with other people, who want to work alone after the earthquake. But there's going to be people who are going to recover from an earthquake or some immune, and they'll get in better health. Maybe they'll practice better eating and health when they before the earthquake. I feel like people are going to have the mindset of they have to take care of themselves with earthquake. I feel like people are going to take care of themselves. They're going to be in better health, and they're going to finance, with earthquakes. People are going to plan better with earthquakes. People are going to take care of themselves during an earthquake. People are going to rely on themselves, earthquakes. And also, people are going to be running, working hard, and they feel trapped with being at an earthquake, being stuck in an earthquake. People will feel trapped, like, oh no, there's going to be an earthquake. What am I going to do? Am I going to be trapped? And they don't like the hustle and bustle of, being stuck in an earthquake or an tsunami or whatever it is. So there's going to be people who are stressed out. There's a lot of people going to be stressed out during an earthquake, and it will cost a lot of lives. A lot of people will die because of the earthquake and a tsunami, and they feel overwhelmed. And they have to work together. I feel like they're going to have to work together because otherwise people will get hurt worse. They might have severe injuries. And they have to succeed at all costs. Work together. You should work together at cost to save people's lives. Maybe they'll have those dogs to help find people. After an earthquake, they have dogs that help sniff out people, children, old people. They'll have dogs that will help find them. So there will be people who will help people find dogs. Those special dogs when there's after an earthquake. So yeah, I think definitely they're going to have dogs to help out, during an earthquake or an tsunami. People will be, lining up to be rescued, even though there are some people who don't want to be rescued, but there's a lot of people who will want to be rescued. It would take a lot of time and money, cost a lot of money to recover from an earthquake, because of all the people being hurt and sick and injured, because, it takes a lot of time, yeah. So, yeah, there's going to be a lot of earthquakes and tsunamis and everything. So, to my next video, take care and bye.